Have you ever had someone tell you to be quiet, to play small, to hide your true self out of fear of what they would think of you or that they would judge you? Has that person actually been you? Welcome to LadyBoss Unplugged. I am your host, Molly Richards. I am so happy you are here. And guess what? We have two amazing guests today, and they are going to share their stories with you about playing small. Let's go. Welcome to LadyBoss Unplugged. This is Molly Richards, your host. I am beyond excited to empower you to overcome life's obstacles, to form new healthy habits, to cultivate a growth mindset, as well as bring in some super cool guests who will share their own kind of magic with you. Oh, did I mention we'll have fun too? Heck yes, we will. Join me for weekly, unfiltered, raw, real, and encouraging conversations that inspire transformative change, that give you the tools to create a positive domino effect in every aspect of your life, and just have fun hanging out. Now, let's get unplugged. All right, girls. Oh my gosh, everyone listening, we have two awesome guests today. They are two beautiful women, two of my favorite people, two of my favorite hype girls. And they are some of the OG lady bosses. And guess what? They are just amazing people, beautiful humans. They're both boy moms, which is so fun. They have both had amazing weight loss. In addition to that, they've had personal transformations from the inside, which is so cool. So today we have Erica Horner, who is the operations manager for LadyBoss. And we have the director of operations, Kaitlyn Delamonte. I don't know why I say it like an accent, but I think that was pretty good. So we have the honor of having them here today with us, and they are going to share something that we had this conversation. And when they were sharing this story with me, I was like, we need to talk about that on the podcast. More women need to hear this so that we can all stop playing small. I think we all play small. We are so worried about the judgment from others, from being too much, from all of that. And then it just hides who we are. So welcome to LadyBoss Unplugged, girls. So happy
you're having us
both here. So you might be listening to the podcast. Also know that we are on YouTube, so you can also watch this if you want. We might bust out some dance moves. Actually, they both just did. I'm not going to talk. They just did some sweet moves. So either way, you're joining us. We're so happy that you are here for this podcast. Remember to share this podcast with your friends. Remember to subscribe. Remember to leave a review. We love your reviews so much. And so let's get this party started. How did this topic come about, girls? Can you share a little bit about this?
I mean, I'll get it started. So
Yes.
With LadyBoss, it has definitely challenged us to a whole nother level. Because LadyBoss is given to all of us are lady bosses, right? And so we were put with this challenge of having to start putting ourselves out there more to share our stories. And that, let me tell you, is not the easiest.
Right.
And so I had never done Facebook Live. I really had never posted a Facebook video. Definitely had never done an ad.
Okay.
And company means we needed to start putting stuff out for LadyBoss. And who better do than actual lady bosses?
Yes.
And well, they're already paying me to work for the company. They're already working there. They're like, and so we're like, okay, we got this. We'll do this for now. And so Amy, our social media manager, she's amazing. Asked for some content from me. And so I filmed it. I was super self-conscious and I sent it to Erica for that. Like, is this okay? I needed that support. I needed my hype girl. I sent her my hype girl, and this is what she had to say.
Yes.
It was okay, but it was not you. I guess that I am an honest person.
Yes, we appreciate
as a hype girl, you gotta be honest.
Yes.
She the video was her talking, but you could tell that she was like holding back. And it did not have her spirit in the video. And so I just told her, it's okay, but it's not you. It doesn't have energy like you. I probably went into more detail.
Yes.
Probably a new bot.
So I
Not
love that
me,
you.
but yeah, she just
Yeah.
she told herself because she was worried about what people were going to think when they watched it, and I
Yes.
had to call her on it.
I love that. I think real friends, true friends, want each other to shine and want us to be our true selves, right?
Yeah.
And so for you to do that, I actually think it was such a big favor because since I remember that video, and since then, Kaitlyn and you too, Erica, have both blossomed and have put yourselves out there on social media, which is so scary. All the trolls, all the people who sit behind their phones and their computers saying mean things. You guys are like, it doesn't matter. I'm still going to do this. So were you offended at first, Kaitlyn, or were you like, or not offended? Were you just like, oh, like what happened?
No, it was to me. It was almost comical because one, I am a really honest person too, so I offense I expected back. So I love that she was like, Then I had toned it back. I did it intentionally because I didn't want to come off unauthentic,
Yes.
and I didn't want to come off seeing like I was fake and all this. So I did tone it back. And when she called me out, it was like I had to almost question who I was. I knew I toned it back, but I was toning it back for those reasons of being unauthentic. But then I didn't necessarily think I was that high energy person yet. And so when she called me out on it, it was more of a, oh no, she knows me well enough that I am actually that high energy person that I didn't even realize myself I was.
Okay, I love it. I love it. I think so. That is awesome, and I love when you guys are saying things like, "You have to stop holding back, but be your full self, no matter what." And I remember you made me think about like I've been doing social media for a very long time. Like I have friends sometimes are like, "You have a lot of followers." I'm like, "I've been doing this since." I remember when a friend came to me, I don't know, like 15 years ago, right? Whenever Instagram started, she was like, "You have to get on this." I was like, "Why? What?" And I remember getting on there and I was so worried about the people who knew me best would think about me. Like, did they think that I was full of myself? Did they think? I don't know. I was so worried, but it's like the people that are closest to us are going to love it. They are going to love us the most, but those are the people that are so worried about. And one thing I know is we can't be everyone's cup of tea, right? So you're going to be you, and it's okay if someone's like, she's a lot or whatever. It's like, we have to realize that. And so when you guys do messages on social, whether you're doing a video or whatever, well, do you picture someone that you're sharing that message to? Like, how do you get beyond that fear? So the people out there who are listening to this are like, I would like to be on social, but I'm afraid, but I'm this, but I'm that. Like, what do you do when you're doing a video?
So I'm gonna go off track for just a second.
Oh, I love it. Do that. That's what we do there. We are unplugged.
Yeah. So my youngest Jack has like the coolest spirit. He like the coolest imagination, the coolest spirit. He narrates animals. He narrates his stuffies. Like he is always narrating something. He makes noises. Like the other day in our meeting, his what did he tell me? His horse was sneezing. So sorry, Mom, for the noise, but my horse was sneezing. Like he just has like this wild spirit.
Yeah.
And so for me, like I watch him, and sometimes it's a lot. And I'm like, okay, you gotta stop, you gotta tone it down. But I stop myself from telling him that because I don't want him to tone it down.
Right.
And I don't want people to make him feel like he needs to tone it down.
Right.
And so for me, it's just like, what better model can I be than to just do it myself? Yeah.
I love that. Oh, that's so good. Yeah. What about you, Kaitlyn?
Same thing as I don't want my kids to see it. In fact, it's kind of similar story. I was actually having film 2 days ago, real quick segment, and my child was in the room playing, laughing, and I'm like yelling at her across the house, "Stop laughing!" And they were laughing at me, like joyful and dumb, and I felt so bad.
Oh my gosh.
So I didn't want. So I actually had to pause my recording, so I could not. Like, I want you to be that person. Total fight there. But my big thing is, someone told me not too long ago that you're one step ahead. You're one step ahead of somewhere else. And that's all you need to be, which we all are. We are all one step ahead, to be qualified, I guess is the word. I may not be the most perfect, thought out, whatever person, but no one is.
Right.
However, I have a story to share, and my goal is to make an impact on at least with one person. So I don't
Right.
care about all my other friends or followers or this or that. I need to know them all, right? But I want to make a difference at least in one person. And if
Right.
that is putting myself out there to get raw, real, unplugged, then I will.
Heck yes.
Because I have a story that I think
Yeah.
that I know can make a difference in someone's life, and they need to hear it so that they can believe in themselves.
Yes, you will resonate with someone out there for sure. Both of your journeys have been so awesome. Like losing 65 pounds, Erica, 75 pounds, Kaitlyn. And like in the intro, just seeing you both blossom and change is so cool. If I look back to when you both started your journey, you were probably so much quieter. Your smiles weren't as big. Your shoulders didn't stand as far back. You know what I mean? Like all of that changes. And if you could be that person that makes the girl on the other side of her phone or computer believe in herself, then job done, right? Like, and I think that's what's important for why we do this is like if we can share our story and be all of who God made us to be, then and give someone else, like people can borrow our belief until they have their own. I always think that, like borrow my confidence, practice yours, do the things I do, like go work out, work on your mindset, the state, the shape, all of that, you know, and then you're all of a sudden going to have that confidence. So I think, and here's the thing, like I always say, and you might have heard this before too on other podcasts and all that, it's like, embrace the suck, like suck, but do it anyway. And I talked about that in my first podcast. I'm like, I'm going to have podcasts where I will look back and think, what did I say? But who cares? Do it anyway. And along your weight loss journeys, I'm sure you have stumbled, but you do it anyway, right? And could you imagine, both of you and women listening, if on your journey someone said, you know, stop it, like you suck, or what are you doing? And you stop, where would you be today? You know, like we can't let other people have ownership over who we are, what we want to do, or the possibility of us living our truth and reaching our goals. Like that's giving people so much power, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And I love also that when Erica was like, when Kaitlyn was filming her video and Erica was like, why are you playing small? Like, I know you. You're toning yourself down. You are not playing full out. You are being safe. Erica being that friend who's willing to speak the truth and love Kaitlyn, and for Kaitlyn to have the open mind and heart of saying, oh, she actually cares about me. She's not ripping on me. She's not critiquing me. And having that openness, I'm like, oh, thank you. You know what? You're right. So I just think that's so cool that you guys have that friendship. And so I just was like, do I have friends like that in my corner? And I always think of like,
Yes, you got that.
And so find those friends, but it's also coming from such a place of love, you know? And I think that's so important because before we got on for this podcast, I was telling the girls that I've had people in my life who have kind of done the opposite for me. They have said, like, I'll do a video and they have said, like, why are you so loud? Why do you need so much attention? Why are you this? And I would go from feeling confident after doing a video or speaking on stage or doing something to having people rip on me for playing full out. And I'm like, oh, maybe I should not be who I am. Like, I just say to that, like, no, like that person's going to take control over the message I can share, the person I can become. So do you guys have anything to say about that?
So there's such a stigma in the world around normal. Being normal. You have to be normal. But my thing, even just the last 2 months, is what even is normal? I don't want to be normal. I want to be me. I am loud. I talk way too fast. Foot and mouth moments all the time. I love curly hair and glittery clothes and sequins and all the things. My closet, like, it makes me happy. I love being extra because that's my normal. It makes me feel good. I don't want to be normal. I don't want someone to tone me down. And yes, there are those naysayers, but a lot of times those naysayers, they actually need me to be loud for them because they're not there yet. They haven't they have their own insecurities. They're still trying to work through and are almost threatened by it because they haven't had that opportunity for growth in themselves yet. Like they don't have that belief in themselves.
Right.
And so by being my normal of extra and loud and wild and crazy, I'm hoping inspires them that they can do it too. Who cares?
Yeah. And it's part of your journey. It's part of how you grow is putting yourself out there, right? And what about you, Erica? Thanks for sharing that, Kaitlyn.
Yeah, I think for a really long time, I guess since high school, I heard you're intimidating. I thought from the first time I met you, I thought you were going to be like that has always been a thing. And I recently read that I'm not intimidating. You're intimidated. And it really like struck. And there's something missing with their state that makes them want to put you down.
Yes.
And so when that happens, I guess for me, I just look at it and I'm like, okay, girl, I'm high for you.
Yes.
I love that.
And just how I go because there's something with them. There's nothing wrong with me for looking the way that I look or talking the way that I talk.
Yeah.
It just is something that's missing in them.
And I think that's awesome. And I think that's the power of working on ourselves, on our state, right? We all know that, right? So instead of feeling attacked, we're like, this is who I am. You know, like we actually have that confidence. Actually, Kevin and I went on a date last night. I mean, 29 years married, still on weekly date night.
Love it.
We'll do it. Keep that marriage sexy. That's another part.
Yes. I love it.
Yeah, it was funny because this is wild. I'm just going to share this because it's so funny. Your personality is going to evolve and change over time. And I think I was talking about this with my daughter this morning before we got onto the record. And it's like, we're always changing and evolving, hopefully. And it takes work. So the person who says you're intimidating is not doing the work. Therefore, you are intimidating because they're not, right? So they're not seeing themselves as bigger. And so you being bigger makes them feel smaller. And so they're trying to make you feel smaller. Do you know what I'm saying? It's wild.
Yeah. It's a cycle.
It is. And it's just unhealthy. So they're unhealthy habits they're trying to put on you. I think that when we work on our state and we work on personal development, we take care of ourselves, we actually can put on an armor of some sort, right? Of like, do not try to penetrate this shield of awesomeness that I have built and I've worked so hard to build. And Kevin and I were talking last night, and this is so random, girls, but have you ever seen the pictures of lipstick? Of how people have their lipsticks. Has anyone ever seen this? And it talks about they feel lipstick is pointy, like completely pointed. It talks about your personality, right?
Yeah.
If it goes one side or if it's this or the other. And over the last year, I've worked really hard on my mindset, like probably put in like 4x the work. And I'm really obsessed with like future self, and that has really helped me. So I'm not trying to make this about me. I just want to tell you this really quick story. My lipstick has always gone slanted one way. And last night on our date, I sent to Kevin, I said, this is really weird, but I feel different. I feel the most confident and grounded I have felt my whole life. And I pulled out my lipstick after that because we had finished eating. Girl loves herself some lipstick. I pulled it out. And Kevin goes, whoa. And I said, what? And guess what's happening? He said, look at your lipstick. And my lipstick was a completely different shape than it's been my entire life. And Kevin said, isn't that about your personality? Didn't you say something? Didn't you tell me one time that your lipstick showed your personality? And I said, that's weird. Like, I know that sounds weird. And my point of you telling you that is we should be, and I talked about this before with Kaitlyn and Erica, we should be evolving, growing, changing. We should never stay the same. And hopefully we are getting better every day. That's what we do at LadyBoss, right? It's like 1% better every day. And when we do, we are not going to continue to play small. I'm done playing small. And my daughter's like, Mom, I think that's because you're 51. I was like, don't you dare say my age. But she did. So it was just interesting to me that we can and we should evolve. And then people who don't want to see us grow, they're just not growing themselves. Do you both have anything to comment on? I've talked a lot.
No, I would say yes. And I think by us continuing to share and not letting them make us play small, we're helping them. Most of the time. Because they're still watching. They're like, okay, maybe I could maybe I could try to do something. You know, like just if we're inspiring them to do one thing,
One thing. One
even when they're
change.
trying to take a scale.
Yes.
They could be. So
Yes.
you're always
agree.
reaching somebody. You're always speaking to somebody.
Yes.
No matter what. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's huge. That's huge. Thank you for saying that. It's like, I think also looking at you girls from where you're beginning, like even if I went to your Instagram, right? Let's say from 5 years ago to what
Everyone have the phones right now.
we are going to get your handles, your Instagram handles, is that what they're called? We're going to get all those in a minute. But just to see you then to now, it hasn't been a leap or a jump. Like you said, Erica, it's one change, and it could be one change a day, one change a week, a month, one a year. But you're putting in the work. I always say it's like that thing little staircase. Like you're not getting to the top, but you have to take all those steps. And so you girls are the perfect example of, you know what? It takes work. It takes deciding to change, and it takes listening to a friend who's going to say, "Girl, I know you better than that." So what do you have to say about that, Kaitlyn?
Having hype girls in your corner 1,000,000%. And even past your hype girls, like surrounding yourself with people that truly love and support you. So it makes it 100 times easier to turn out the naysayers. I'm not saying you want to turn them out, because you want to pray for them, as Erica said earlier. You know, we want to pray for them and help them through their struggles that they're having, their insecurities. But hype girls are huge. Both Erica and you, Molly, have like this king sense to know when something's off with me, Kaitlyn. I'll get a random box from Molly at like 6 p.m, and she's like, "Hey, just checking on you. Wanted you to know you're awesome." And I will box her back and be like, "I think the Lord was speaking to you or something, because today has been off and it's been funky, and thank you for reaching out." And Erica does it to me too, and it's the weirdest thing. Same with my husband. I'll wake up to a good morning text that's all sweet. And it's like my circle knows when something's just not sitting right before I've even opened my mouth for the day. And I don't know what it is, but it's just that literally having those type people in your corner helps turn out the naysayers, but also helps you when you're just not feeling it yourself, because we're not always on at all. I have gotten more off days than on days because state is such a constant. But there's hype people in your corner that are always going to support you and love you and encourage you. You have to have it.
And they're real with you, right? Like we have a podcast on this, and it's about how important your circle is. Like your circle matters. The top 5 people matter. And if your circle is telling you to play small, or telling you you're too much, or telling you this, that, and telling you to tone yourself down so they feel comfortable, sometimes you have to say, "I love you.
Yes.
I'm going to go hang out with a different circle."
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, "I love you." You don't have to actually say this and like break up with them, but inside you're like, "I love you. I'm going over here." And it's not about fake relationships. You want people who know your goals, have the same values,
For you.
want to support you, and that this makes it so much easier for you to rise. You want people to rise with you. You want people to push you to rise. People who are going to squash you, like that crab mentality. Have you ever heard of that mentality? The crabs?
Yeah,
And they're like, "No, I'm going to pull you down. Like, stop rising. Stop being successful." I say, screw that. Like, this bleeding house unplugged. Like, enough's enough. And sometimes, as we know, it could be the people
Closest
that are closest to us, who have known us the longest, because they see you as old you, and they want to keep you there because they're not willing to put in the work. But you have to say, "I don't want to stay here. I don't want to stay here." Like, no. And I think that takes being surrounded by amazing people like you, being part of a community like LadyBoss, where you just have people cheering for you, where you have amazing things coming at you. Like, I thank you girls so much, first of all, for listening to my manly morning voice in the morning when we send each other messages. I had to throw that out there. But also, like, just always believing in me. Like, some days I look like perky jolly Molly all the time, but I have days too. Like, we're human, right? And then when I have these girls in my circle, rooting for me, I'm like, I can do anything. And we need that, especially as women. And sometimes, by the way, it's not my husband. My husband actually is amazing. He is my head guy. Like, he sends me a love text every day. It's crazy. But it could be our spouse. It could be our kids who are like, "Mom, you're so this. You're so extra." It's like, be extra. Be like extra, extra. My kids are so used to me being extra, extra that now they actually feel weird if I'm not. They're like, are you okay? And I'm like,
Yep.
you want you? Yes. And I
Yes.
want them to do that. So I feel like so many times we are so worried, like, you have to be everyone's cup of tea. I am never going to be everyone's cup of
No.
tea.
No.
No,
Right?
Yep.
no, none of it. You should never feel like you have to change or conform yourself to be that. I had an I'm driving, working out. I have my white space. I have my aha moments. And not too long ago, I had one. I was driving down the road, and prior to meeting my husband, I was very independent. I always have. I am an independent go-getter. Like, I run the show. Even this trip, everyone's like, okay, the drill sergeant is here. That is me.
I love it. I love it.
And I just an aha moment. It's like, how blessed am I to have such a husband that he can be my shoulder to cry on and support me when I need it, but also not be intimidated and threatened by me by being independent. Like, he lets me have the independence while being independent that I need, and doesn't ever make me feel like I need to be small or put me into a box. Or
Yes.
I'm just so blessed to have him and myself, one of you amazing ladies.
Yes. I think that is so beautiful, that about the spouse, or, or someone's boyfriend or whatever. And I do have some hope for the people who are like, the women who are like, well, my husband would never do that. Right.
Mhm.
Is I would just say to you that you can just have the conversation of, hey, I just want to talk with you really quick. This is my goal. This is who I really want to be, and I'm going to do this. I really need you. I need your support. Is that cool? If you can, I know it might not be your thing. I've had to have this conversation with Kevin before, especially when Instagram first started. He was like, do you really need to do that? Like, he's just an extrovert, and you could be introvert, extrovert, whatever. I'm extra, extrovert. And he was like, do you have to do that? He sees social media as in a different way than me. I look at it as like, we can reach women, we can share a message. And he is like, does everyone have to put a picture of themselves bragging about their lives? Like, that's kind of how he sees it, and that's fine. So it could be that. But I remember having a conversation like, babe, I have to do this because I feel a ton at my heart to share with other women. And so I am going to be like having a conversation basically and saying, will you please support me rather than rip on me, because this is important to me. So I think anything in our lives where we can say to someone close to us, like, I'm doing this, we don't have to say why, we never have to explain ourselves, but like, I need your support. That would be a game changer. Instead of like expecting it, they don't give it, then you're disappointed, and then you're mad, and then you quit. So communication is like super key, right?
Yeah.
Yes. And there's been times where I'm going to mind blank on it. So I'm like, I want to do this. And my husband, love him. I love you just the way you are. Like, you don't need to do this. You don't have to. Like, I will love you either way.
Right.
But I'm like, okay, I understand that and I respect that. This is something I have to do for me. And I know that you'll support me either way. But I get you love me as the person I am now. But as I've had the growth, as I've taken it and I've challenged it, he now looks at me where I fall in love with you over and over again, because you are constantly growing. Like, yeah, I love that person you were before, but like, wow, like this person, like, I didn't know I could love you more, because I'm falling in love with you over and over again as you challenge yourself.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I love that.
Yeah.
I think it's small things, too. Like, my eyelashes, my husband did not give two about eyelashes, and he was like, I don't know why you're spending money on that. I don't know why you're doing that. And now I take my eyelashes off once a week, and he's like,
Put those
why
back
don't
on.
you have eyelashes on? Yeah. So it's simple, but I think it's also like, we don't want to anchor ourselves for the people that we're leading to. Like, I tell my kids all the time, like, I'm a weird mom. Be happy that you're a weird mom because it builds character. But embrace your weird. Somebody told Jack that his sandwich was weird. And they're like, that's so weird. And he was like, kind of like, and I kind of agreed in the moment. I was like, it is kind of weird. And he was just like, and you could tell like his feelings were hurt. And I was like, did that hurt your feelings? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, oh, buddy, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings, but let's embrace your weird. Like, don't change yourself because somebody says that to you. Just embrace it. And now he tells me all the time, well, just embrace your weird.
Yeah, I love it. Oh my gosh, that is so good. And I'm right there with you on the lashes. And some people are not lash people. I mean, my mom is like, honey, do you have those big giant? I'm like, yes, I do.
Yeah.
Have you? I look like Gollum from that Lord of the Rings without them. But I have, real quick, I have had a couple people on Instagram message me that I love your message, but why all the makeup? Or why do you work out with makeup at the gym? Or why do you do your hair at the gym? And all of these things are like stabs of a knife into my heart. And it's weird. Even if I look like the most confident person, you girls probably understand this.
Yeah.
Every did that the person behind their phone, and sometimes many times it's
real.
people I don't
Real.
know.
It is.
They'll say, why this, why that, you're this, your eyebrows, you blah, blah, blah. Like, it's so wild, the stuff I get. I have to, again, have that armor on of my own self-belief. Like, it doesn't matter what someone thinks of me. Like, I have to be the highest thinker of myself, and that takes work. And that's what we do at LadyBoss is we really work on our state. But each time they do that, I start to wonder, should I be wearing makeup? And then I have to tell myself, that makes me happy. I've loved makeup since I was little. I have 4 older sisters. I probably started putting on makeup at 3. I know, I'm weird. And that's fine. I embrace my weird. I don't know if anyone remembers, there was a kid called Fresh and Fancy. You girls are a lot younger than me, but it was a whole makeup kid. I had made makeup as a kid. And so anyway, I digress. But every time someone pokes at me, I start to find myself hiding. My shoulders go down. I doubt myself. I want to delete that picture. I want to delete that story. I want to stop showing up. They're winning if I do that.
Yeah.
They're winning. So the
And people that you are impacting just miss out.
Exactly. Thank you. And so for the women listening to this, don't let other people squish you. Like, I think of like a little bug, like the person who thinks they're big, they're a jerk, sorry, but like they're going to squish you and tell you to, or smother your beauty, smother your message, which by the way, you might not get paid by companies, but you are an influencer. Every single person listening to this podcast, you are an influencer. Like, I want you to go on social media right now and be like, I'm an influencer. You are. You are influencing your children. You are influencing the people around you all the time, your friends, your family, by being you. So if someone rips on you, tells you to play small, tells you to hide, they're winning. Do not let them win. You be the freaking winner every day.
Yes.
And don't let your mean girl inside your head win either, because sometimes it's literally just us.
She can get loud. She can get loud.
She can get real loud.
We need to tell her to quiet it down.
Sit down.
Really though, that inner self-talk that is negative, that's just our fear. That is just our fear. And I always say our brains want to prove everything that we think right, meant to challenge our thoughts. So if we hear her, that little evil girl, if we let her be loud, no, we have to be like, shh, not today, girlfriend. I am amazing. And so with that, I know that we talk about this within the community, is how important it is to have positive mantras. We work on this, right? So what are some of your favorite things when negative girlfriend starts to try to say stuff to us, that girlfriends being ourselves, right? Our negative self-talk or other people. Do you girls each have a couple positive mantras that you remind yourself and say to yourself when those things happen?
First off, affirmations. I'm worthy. I'm beautiful. I'm confident.
Yeah, affirmations. That's what I meant.
But I got 2 quotes, and one is, great things never came from comfort zones. So
yes,
I'm always going to continue to push myself out of my comfort zone.
Yes.
And I also really with an angle on my desk that was given to me by the wonderful Erica that says, never stop believing the difference you make.
Yeah.
And it says, they say it right there. And the final thing is, I have 2 postcards. One says fear and one says gratitude. And it is proven you cannot live in fear when you are grateful. Yep. And so I let that sit on my board right now with those 2 other quotes. So I can all, like, when that fear kicks in, no, I am so grateful for the nice weather outside, for healthy children, for the roof over my head, for the food we have to eat, whatever it is. I let that gratitude switch out that fear and then recenter myself, because I'm making a difference. I'm going to get out of comfort zone.
Yes.
I'm not going to listen to the naysayers.
I love that.
I also have things on my desk that I always think of. And the first one is, you're amazing. Remember that. And then I am just like thankful that I had the opportunity to touch you in a way, even if you reacted negatively, I touched you in some sort of way. And so I'm just thankful that I got that opportunity, and that I can just continue to go and not really care. Just like,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Dust it
I
off.
just
Dust
like,
it off.
yep.
You guys are such like living proof, you know, of just saying like, no, I'm not gonna hold back. I'm not going to hide. And also have fun. Like you guys are the
Yes.
ultimate, like, you know, we're gonna have fun doing it. Like, look at how like you both light up. If you're watching this on YouTube, like they're literally listening to this, they like light up when they think about the message they have, the difference they can make. You girls are difference makers. Everyone who's listening to this podcast or watching, like you can be a difference maker. You just have to decide to quiet the negative stuff, to quiet the negative people, to not have that fear. You know, I always think false evidence appearing real. That is fear. False. It is false. And you will grow, you will rise when you just say enough's enough. You own your truth, you own who you are. I'm like my mom. I talk about her in every stinking podcast, but girlfriend,
We love her.
we love her. I call her one girlfriend, but girlfriend has said, like, she's like, Molly, you came out smiling, you came out with like energized, and then like I will always be that way. But you can't also, if you are like, well, I'm introverted, I'm quiet, you might have been told by someone as a kid to shh, you're so loud. Or the mom is like, oh, she's shy. You get a label put on you. She's quiet, she's shy, she's this. Those are someone telling you who you are. Like you can change. It doesn't matter how old you are. You can all of a sudden decide, like, no, I want to be this. I want to be. I think that is so cool. When I learned that, I don't know how many years ago, I was like, we have these labels put on us. My label was that I was loud. And I was like, I'm holding that. Let's go. But I wish someone said I was a talented singer and an amazing dancer. I didn't get that. But I'm just joking. But, you know, it's like you just have to do what makes you happy. If you want to make change, decide to make a change and then take action every day. But be you 100%. So I'm going to go back to the beginning when Erica was making that video. Did you go weeping when Kaitlyn told, but Erica told Kaitlyn, you're not being 100% who. Kaitlyn, did it feel better when you let go of your fear? Like, really, how was your energy? How was your message? And how have you changed since Erica was like, I love you. I want you to be you.
100%. It feels so much better. I knew I was 20 days back, right? And so now I was like, now I feel real. I feel authentic, and I'm gonna hurt someone's feelings too bad because it's me. You know? And it made putting the message that I want to share out with the world so much easier. Instead of reading from a talk track or this or that, or having to memorize so I didn't screw up. Or now I was like, I'm gonna say my message, and I'm gonna be bright and bubbly and like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to tell you this today. If you're watching,
you just said that, and I was like, bright bubbly.
It feels natural.
Yeah,
it feels so natural. And even in our community, I had so many women reach out and thank me for sharing my story and my message, which wasn't easy at first, and it's definitely taking time to get there. But my goal, as I said, I'm the same thing with that. It's make a difference in one person's life. And I have heard it. And sometimes you don't always hit that person reaching out that they hear you and you're helping them.
Right.
And I'm fortunate where I have had some people reach out like, thank you for sharing this. I needed it. And it's like, there we go. I'm going to keep doing my thing. I'm going to keep sharing my story because I'm making a difference.
Yeah.
That is my goal. I want to inspire women. I've had men reach out, not in a creepy pervy way, I promise. They're like, I've gotten back into the gym and thank you for your story. And I'm like,
yeah.
Because like, this was like so out of my comfort zone. So
I love that. And else, that's beautiful. And even when Erica's like, I'm going running today, I'm like, oh, I'm not a runner, but Erica runs, so I'm gonna go run. Like, you know, like it's like funny that people, like I always say success leaves clues. When you see someone, you've got both 75 pounds, 65 pounds, you're doing something right. I'm going to follow you. And maybe, most likely, the people listening to this are not leading LadyBoss, right? You girls are involved in LadyBoss, but you're lady bosses. So you're at work, you're in your neighborhood, you're at the gym, you're at home, and you can influence. So these girls are influencing. Like I said, you're an influencer. People are watching. So share what you're doing. Share how good you feel. Like, be that positive example and know that like Kaitlyn and Erica are saying here, where it's like you can make a difference in one person's life. Like imagine the person who's like, because you're doing this, I decided to go run. Now I'm off of medication. Now I'm not as depressed or anxious. Now, I fit into my clothes more comfortably. Now I just, you know what I mean? It's so much more than the weight loss, but it's like you have the ability to literally change someone's life by being you, by being you. Like that's crazy.
But it's so that I was gonna say that's what made the change in me was watching people in the community like going and doing hard things, and they were like, "We're gonna do this 5K," and I was like, "Well, if you can do a 5K, I can do a 5K." I used to be the girl that if I was running, you should run too because something's draw me. Like I didn't like running. I hated running. Like it was not my thing, and I shot myself.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna go do this. And it was literally just, I'm just gonna run a 5K.
Yeah.
And then it just like evolved and I realized, oh crap.
I love that.
I don't hate running actually. And so
I love that. One change, one of you said, is so huge. And we focus on that like in our slim downs and in everything that we talk about in the community is like maybe it's one healthy meal a day. Maybe it's one protein shake a day. Maybe it's going for a 20-minute walk while listening to a podcast. Boom, state shape done. You know what I mean? We talk about that one change. So when we look at the whole picture, overwhelming, scary, you say we can't do it and you don't even start. So it's like that one change is so huge. And then I'm going to give my running tip for those that don't run. Here you go. You ready for my running tip? Erica's like, what is her running tip?
Yes.
So I have to share this because really you could relate this to also just your whole workout program. So I had my daughter Kaylee at 65 pounds. And I also will admit that when I was pregnant, I ate an entire box of donuts all by myself. Ooh. I know. I had McDonald's all the time.
That was the peak right there.
Yeah.
I was pretty young and I was like, well, I'm supposed to
bring it.
So let me
Yes.
So skated 65 pounds and I was like, oh no, I need to get my body back. And my husband's dad was a runner. And he shows up at my door after Kaylee was like 4 weeks old with a jogger, right? Remember the baby joggers? And I was like, hi. Thanks. And at first I was like, is he saying I'm this and that? And I started to go this negative thing. And I was like, no, actually, he's being really nice. Going for a walk is going to be nice.
Yes.
And so we're on a walk and he's like, Molly, let's run. I said, I don't run. And he said, okay, so we're at like one light signal, right? And he says, how about if we run to that next signal, or is that called the traffic signal, and see how you feel? So we ran to that traffic signal. I'm like, I feel pretty good. He's like, okay, let's continue to that next traffic signal and see how you feel. And I was like, okay, I'm good. I feel good still. Let's head to the next one. I was like, okay, I'm tired. He's like, look at you. You did 3 signals and you thought you could do 0. And then all of a sudden, I became a runner. I did a 5K. I did a 10K. I did a 10-mile. I did a half marathon. I've never done a marathon. Props to the people who have done a marathon.
Yes. Power to you.
But what it taught me is our brains and our fears keep us from living who we actually, the goals we can reach, being who we can be and reaching those goals. So I just think like everything in our lives is like, don't let anything hold us back. That our brain wants to hold us back or people want to hold us back.
Yep. I agree with you.
That's my running tip of the day.
Love it.
I mean, I really,
I love it. That was my, I was like, I'm going to run. I ran around the park. Like literally just did laps around the park and I would go one sidewalk square further the next day. Like
one
sidewalk square, but I'm going to go one further today.
Yes. And then now look where you girls are. And so maybe it is, for me, it was like not eating a box of donuts. It was me never going to McDonald's again. I never had McDonald's again. Like it's little changes add up. But when we come back to our full message here at the beginning is like, don't hold back anymore. Can we all say that right now? Like if you're listening to this podcast, just scream out loud with us. Just be like, I'm done holding back. Like girls, join me here.
I'm done holding back.
Like seriously, I'm done hiding. Like say this to yourself every day. I'm done hiding. Because when you hide yourself, you are literally like not like just showing up. I want to show up.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and then be that friend like Erica is and was to Kaitlyn. Be that loving, supportive friend. If one of your friends is sharing a bowl or you know that she is hiding, call her out and be like, girl, I see you. I love you. Be more of you.
And for the record, sparkle is not always just the fluff, like, oh, I love your clothes, I love your this, or
Right.
you.
Right.
Sparkle is that too. Sparkle is
Yeah.
being that honest friend that might not tell you something you want to hear, but you need to hear it because they
Right.
love you.
Yes, I love that because I am very much about like, you look cute. Like, go
And that happens to me too. I mean, like, don't be the person that's like, oh,
Yeah.
I really like your shoes, but I'm not going to tell them anything. Because they probably need to hear that.
Yes, yes.
And
But I
also-
love that so much. And encouraging the good stuff, you know, like she wasn't just saying you're hanging. She was like, I know that you have more to share. And I see that's so beautiful. So join us in being amazing hype girls for one another. Like I mentioned, we could change the world.
Heck yes.
You know?
Ready to do it.
I know.
Lady at a time.
So everyone has to follow Kaitlyn and Erica. Girls, tell us where we can find you.
I'm on Instagram and TikTok. My tag is Kaitlyn Talamonte. Full name. We'll drop in the show notes.
Love it.
I'm on Insta and Facebook as CR Horner 218.
I love it. And everyone should do the 30 Day Sundown at least once.
Yes.
Because we are involved in hyping you up every day on there. We are keeping you accountable. We're keeping it fun, and we're giving you tools to not just change for 30 days, but to change your life. And it's a game changer. And I say, invite a friend to also do it with you. So girls, you are both so beautiful. And I love watching you just transform yourselves and also just be such a positive example to everyone in the community and to your families and all of that. And so everyone, oh my gosh, thank you so much for joining the podcast. Make sure you share it with a friend, subscribe, give us a review. We appreciate you so much. And of course, I always say that my goal for this podcast is to encourage you to live your happiest, to live your healthiest, and to know that you are so awesome and that you are powerful and unstoppable. Oh my gosh, that's our song. Okay, so
I love it.
All right, everybody, have the best day ever. We will see you on the next one.
Bye.